Hey guys, we're back with another art project today. Today I have Emmett with me,
Hi.
and we're going to be working on a project cutting out and making a little paper sculpture based on work by the American artist named Alexander Calder. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at who he is and some of the stuff that he makes. All right, so today the materials we're going to need some kind of paper. Cardstock or construction paper works best. If you don't have that, you could always cut out a section of a cereal box. That might work too, okay? So some kind of paper, heavier paper if possible. You're gonna need a pencil. You're gonna need some scissors, and maybe if you want to, something to color with. Markers, paint markers, or color pencils, even crayons might work. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and grab some materials and we'll meet back here. Okay, so everybody should have a piece of paper. I got yellow. What'd you get?
Rustish, like red.
Rustish like red, yes. I like it. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, we'll hold our paper like this. We're gonna fold that in half, okay? Try and line up those edges. Give it a good crease down the middle. All right, so we're gonna be working with it this way. Cool, so it should stand up, and that is gonna help us out later on. So just keep in mind, it's gonna stand like this, but it's gonna have a bunch of different pieces to it, okay? All right. All right, so we have our papers, should be folded. On one side, this top side, using our pencil, we're gonna draw some lines. So we don't wanna go all the way over to this folded edge. We wanna start about ½ an inch or so in. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw kind of some curved lines, okay? I'm gonna go up an inch or so and do another one. They don't have to be perfect. I'm gonna do a few of these, okay? These are the lines that we're gonna cut along. And then I'm gonna make this my top one, and my top one, I'm gonna kind of go and make it just kind of stand out a little bit more. Okay. Kind of make a little bit of a wavy line. I know we've talked about wavy lines. Okay. Good, so yours can go right to the edge and just cut, take it right over. There you go, anywhere like that. Perfect. All right, so now that we have our lines, this next part is optional, so you don't have to do this, but if you want to add a little bit of design and some pop to it, you could follow along here. So I'm going to use a Sharpie. Emmett, what do you have?
Colored pencil.
He's got a colored pencil. So I have a black one for yellow paper. He's got white, so his will show up. But some of Alexander Calder's pieces have some flowers or some paint or some sort of other color on them. I know in the slides that we looked at, one of them was red with white flowers. I'm just going to go in and do some black dots, okay, because I think that would look cool. You could do them on the lines. You could do them off to the side of the line so that it crosses over, so it falls off. Doesn't have to be any real pattern. You can do as many as you want, okay? So I'm gonna fill the front side in like this. Now, if you wanna get fancy, you could take your paper and flip it over. and start to fill in the back side also with some dots. Same thing as you do on the front. So Emmett's doing some stars. I'm going to do some dots. Okay, so because I don't have the lines drawn on this side, I don't know where these dots are going to fall, which makes it a little bit cool, you know, have that little bit of surprise at the end. Okay, so we should have something kind of like this. Okay, the next step, keeping that folded, we're going to look at our lines. Okay, so these lines, do they hit the edge?
No.
Do they hit that folded side? No, so we're going to stop cutting where our line stops. So we don't want to cut all the way through these, or else we'll just end up with a bunch of different pieces. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to cut on that line. I'm going to stop right here. Okay, so it's cut, but it's still attached. I'm going to go up to the next line. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stop. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one, cut all the way up. I'm going to stop there. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to do this last one just yet. We'll let Emmett catch up cutting. So we should have something that looks kind of like this, but it's all still one piece. It's all still together, okay? All right, nice. Nice. Now, this last one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut that all the way up, follow my line, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it all the way through. And I'll show you why. Because what that's going to do, and this one is kind of funky with the way it curves up and down and in and out and everything. But that's going to give us a nice contrast to the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one. I'm going to cut it all the way across. This piece is trash, okay? So now I have something kind of like this. Nice. Okay? So even though that will stand this way, next thing we're going to do is make it, we're going to open it up, okay? We're going to open it up. I'm going to show you guys how we're going to fold it. Okay, so this is kind of the last step. So we have all of these pieces, right?
Yes.
We're going to lay this flat. So what we want to do is be able to stand this up so it's going to stand on its own. And if we remember looking at some of those Alexander Calder pieces, they go in all different directions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start folding some of these pieces so that they're pointing in different directions. Okay, so I'll fold one towards me and one away from me. So we're starting to have this piece, and then maybe I'll fold this one back the other way, and then this one forward, and then we'll fold this one back, okay? I'm going to start to do that on both sides of this. And these don't have to be perfect, we can kind of play with them. And I'm going to leave this bottom one straight, okay? So what we're going to end up doing and having is this piece where from the top, there's all these pieces, these facets that pop different ways, okay? And then it should be able to stand on its own. All right, guys, so it looks like we've made it this far. We have a few different ones here. They kind of look cool all together like this, huh? Mm-hmm. All right, so these are small ones. I know a couple years ago we took a family trip up to San Francisco and they had an Alexander Calder show. Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did they have in that show? Do you remember?
They had small ones like these, and they had big ones right behind it.
Yeah, so they had his little practice ones that he had made out of, some were out of paper, some were out of metal, some were made out of cardboard. And then, so they had the little one like this, and then they had a huge one that matched it right behind it. So these were kind of like his little sketches almost.
Yeah.
So what you can do if you want to take this to another level and have some fun and get outside is you can collect all the cardboard you can find. right? Boxes, all kinds of stuff. And you and your brothers and sisters or mom and dad can help you cut out pieces to match these and put those together. And you could build bigger versions of these and have some public art in your own house or in your own yard. How's that sound?
Sounds fun.
What do you think? These easy or hard?
These are really easy.
Super easy. Super easy, and they look cool, huh?
Yeah.
Super abstract. All right. You know what? We even did a Alexander Calder painting in one of our pageants of hope a few years ago.
Really?
So he did paintings, he did sculptures, he did those mobiles. They have some here. There's one up at LACMA in a outside area that has fountains and water that shoots on it that make it move. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one. Cool. All right, guys. So that's the project for today. Hopefully you have some materials. You can get started. And we'll see you again tomorrow with another project. Cool. Thanks.